Hey, Rhamondre, thanks as always for taking time to talk to us. It's the most appreciated. Um, what's the general mood, I guess, coming out of the team meeting today as we talked to you after reviewing the game yesterday?
Uh, we didn't really do much of the game review today. I think we're gonna get to that tomorrow. But people just still ready to play football. It's just same mood it's been. Just how do we string them together and get some wins under our belt.
Was thinking back to the game yesterday. When you guys get the ball back after Christian's interception, um, that seemed like a key drive. And I'm curious, was as you
Mhm.
replay it back in your head, what do you remember about that drive and sort of obviously not the results you wanted that maybe led to that, that happening?
Yeah, I thought about it. Actually on the field yesterday as it happened. So I think we needed to, play complimentary football at that point. He made a big play, and I think we need to go down and score and get some points on the board that way. And like I said, just play complimentary football with the defense.
Then my last one, remember, you guys rushed for over 200 yesterday, or 200 on the dot, if I don't remember it off the top of my head. But how would you assess the run game yesterday? In totality in the game.
Yeah, I think the big guys got us going. It was some movement up front. I think AG had a nice outing yesterday as well. He ran pretty hard. But yeah, I think we did a nice job on the ground yesterday.
Next question, Chris Ryan.
Hey, Mondo, hope all is well with you. Just looking at the season for you as a whole, what do you see going into these final four games, and what have you thought of your season to date?
Um, I wouldn't say it's not how I expected it to go. But adversity comes, and uh, I deal with adversity pretty well. So the bye week, I'll go back, rewatch all the games, and then I'll have a better assessment of that.
Do you feel like this is the most, adversity you've faced, both from a personal level and kind of a team level as well, in your pro career so far?
Um, you can say that.
In what ways have you kind of, what ways have you kind of felt it, and how have you kind of dealt with it? What have you learned about yourself through, through that process?
Yeah, I had some, personal things going on throughout the season. That kind of, that was weighing on me, weighing on my mind heavy. But just keep going. It's not always, I know I'm very familiar with adversity, things like that. So just reminding myself to keep going, and there's, light at the end of the tunnel.
Thanks.
And last question, Nick Giovanni.
Hey, Rhamondre, just talking about the bye week. Now you guys getting that chance to hit the reset button, as Coach was saying this morning. Uh, what do you want to see out of this team, though, in terms of team's response coming out of the bye week?
Just progression. We get a chance to look ourselves in the mirror, watch some film over this break, over this bye week. So just uh, trying to see what we could do better, see what we didn't do well, and capitalize off of it. Just everyone coming here, ready to work and try to get some wins. The last couple of games of the season.
A lot of guys were talking in the locker room yesterday about how there's no quit in you guys at the end of the day, like regardless of your playoff standing and stuff like that. I mean, do you feel like that's kind of the mindset of this group still at this point?
Yeah, it's been that all season long, and that's what I respect most about all my teammates in here.
Thanks, Rhamondre. Appreciate it, man.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks very much, Rhamondre.
All right, appreciate it.
Joe, thanks for taking the time today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Mike. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you. Joe, just how would you sum up the mood, with the team 24 hours or so after yesterday's game?
I'd say the mood in the locker room is obvious disappointment. Um, there's a lot of frustration, but ultimately, you got a group of guys who came to work today, ready to work, ready to get their lift in and move on and turn the page. and it's tough when you have a bye week staring at you to turn the page, because you're gonna have to sit with this loss for a little bit. But that's the goal, and like I said, this group of guys came in ready to work today.
When you sort of process the special teams piece of the team itself, what are some of the things that you're in control of that you view as areas that you might be able to tighten up, to help results improve?
Absolutely. There's, um, I think looking at special teams as a whole, the best thing I can do, as a captain on this team, as a leader, is look to myself and how I can take steps to get better, take accountability for areas we've come up short, and ultimately help the team win games. And that starts with points. This game, all that matters is who has the most points at the end of the game. So, in the interim, how can we contribute best to that? And it starts and ends with points for us.
One last one, Joe. On the 25-yard field goal at the end of the second quarter yesterday, just from your perspective operationally, did you feel like for you that was clean?
As far as the operation, I take full responsibility operationally. What the outcome on the field is always a product of is the work that we put in throughout the week. It manifests itself, and as a leader in this unit on this team, I take responsibility for that shortcoming.
And next question, Karen Guregian.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Karen?
Good, thanks. I'm just wondering, as a first time captain, what the year has been like for you, kind of in totality, having to deal with kind of the ups and downs, but more downs than ups, and how you've kind of handled that part of the responsibility as a captain, trying to keep people's spirits up.
Yeah, I think as a captain, I touched on it prior to that, is the ultimate goal is the outcomes week in and week out. But it's also about developing a team, developing a culture. And I've been a part of a lot of wins in this organization. And I fully believe that our roles as captains is to spread the message that Gerard is portraying to the team. But ultimately, as a captain, you have to take responsibility for the shortcomings of what happens on the field. And it's a lesson in leadership for us all. But I'm constantly appreciative and impressed by my teammates coming to work week in and week out. The perseverance and just the overall motivation, and you see it from guys on the practice squad that are doing everything they can to get in and doing everything they can the right way. You see it from the guys that have been in this program for a long time, that believe in the New England Patriots, that believe in this program, and have been a part of a lot of wins. And it's just making sure that we are able to portray that, and ultimately it has to turn into wins, and that's the goal for the rest of the season and moving forward.
Mhm. One last one. I talked to some of the younger players, the rookies, about what they were going to do on the bye week, and a couple of them said they didn't know that they would kind of ask the captains kind of what what the right kind of thing is to do on a bye week. Has anyone approached you? And if they have or not, what would you tell them to do on the bye week?
Yeah. As far as young guys and their approach to a bye week, I look at it as you take the opportunity to get away from football for a little bit, step away, get your get your body and your mind healthy and come back recharged and ready to finish the season. However that looks for you, I'll be staying around here. Probably making sure I stay on my program of staying in shape as the elder statesman of the locker room. I just want to make sure I don't lose a step on these young guys. So I hope they maintain focus on the weeks ahead of us, and the task at hand.
Thanks, Joe.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe.
Hey, Christian, how you doing today?
Hey, Mike, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for taking the time. Always appreciated. Just reviewing the game yesterday. I don't know. It sounds like you guys maybe haven't got into the film review yet, but just processing it yourself. I'm sure you have since it ended. What are your thoughts on just the way that game unfolded?
I think there's a lot of good things. We say that every week though, so it's not good enough. Whether it's technique, whether it's assignment, whether it's us just being on the same page, handling the QB run. It's just things that we talked about all week, and then we weren't able to get done when it came down to it. Really, that 18 play drive or whatever it was to end the game. That was the one that, everything that happened before that, that's just a part of football. Good drives, they have good drives, they have good players, they get paid too. That last drive really is something that we need to look at and really look ourselves in the mirror and learn from it.
Let's maybe the answer can't be given right now because you haven't maybe had the time to dissect it on film with the coaches. But what is the sort of initial thought on what the lesson would be from that?
Yeah, no, I've already watched it a few times. We did really well in the pass game. It was a little leaky in the run game, and then there's a few flags in that last drive that really kept them going. And then obviously with I think they had 3 fourth downs that I watched that they ended up getting. Sorry, there's a fly in here. That they ended up getting, and then basically then they go for it on 2 and just treat that as another one. And it's just not that's not who we are as a defense. You know, we've always prided ourselves on getting off on 3rd and 4th down, and we just didn't do it.
Last one, Christian. Now the 2-point conversion. What would you see on that? The play itself and the way you guys defended it.
I'll just look at myself. Something I can do better. I crossed over because in that particular play, I'm playing outside in, and I crossed over. I should have shuffled. I should have been more patient with my feet because they were hitting us with the QB run game. So I can fold back and be an extra player late. That's something that I know I can do better. It's a play that I expect to be able to help our defense with, and with plays on the line like that, you need one player to step up, one player to make a play, one player to end the game, to win it for the team. And I wasn't able to do that. So that's something it's hitting hard today. I'm pretty pissed about it, but it's an opportunity. God's given me opportunity to learn and grow. Thanks, Mike.
Next question, Chris Ryan.
Hey, Christian. Hope all is well with you. Just on the run game, it seems, a lot of 3rd and short situations that you guys find yourselves in, or even 2nd and short situations. What can you guys do better in the early downs and in limiting the run?
Yeah, something we really want to focus on is winning 1st and 2nd down, because when we get to 3rd down, we have a really high percentage of winning. So it comes down to technique and fundamentals first and foremost, eyes and keys. But then whether it's making an extra play, setting a tone in the run game, taking off double teams, not giving them a free slant window, like little things like that. It's just things that we can improve at that keep us out of that second and first and short, or sorry, second and third and short range where we'd rather be in, obviously second and third and long.
I want to ask you about Christian Gonzalez as well and what he means, to the defense. And we saw obviously a multifaceted effort from him yesterday with the interception. He was also, stopping the run late when they got to the edge a couple times. What does Gonzalez bring, and what's kind of impressed you about what he's put on tape this year?
Yeah, this is my first year playing with him. Last year I was mainly on special teams, and I didn't get to see him that much. But Christian is, first and foremost, he's a freak athlete. Secondly, he loves the game. And then I'd say most importantly is that he's clutch in all assets of the game, in everything he does. I enjoy watching him play. I enjoy being his teammate, and I enjoy celebrating him when he gets picks, when he does something good, because it helps our job too.
Last thing I want to ask you about, as a group, what are the major goals here over the final 4 games? Just talking to the guys in the locker room afterwards, there's folks, they see development, but they feel the wins are what you guys really need in order to feel good about the future of this team and what you were able to accomplish this year. So what do you feel like you need to do over the final 4?
Yeah, no, I think Mayo said, and we were talking to him, he said we're 2-5 in close games or 1-score games. So going through this final stretch is finding your identity. Obviously we know our identity, but it's really finishing. You can't say something. You can't say we are something. We can't say we're a great defense. We can't say we're good at stopping the run. We can't say we're good at our pass defense and then not do it. That's action. That's words without action. Somebody on our team and on our defense needs to be a tone setter. Somebody needs to help in the way they haven't before. Looking at myself, I need to just be more. Just be more. I think that's something I just need to do. Just be more. Be more than what I'm doing. At the end of the day, God's given me gifts. God's given me abilities. God's given me a wonderful platform to be able to talk to you guys, be playing with my teammates. And there's good things I'm doing, but there's just things I need to do better at. And I think that's something our whole defense is saying too.
Thanks, Christian.
Appreciate you.
And looks like final question here from Nick Giovanni.
Hey, Christian, thanks for sitting down with us, man. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you, Nick.
Just in terms of processing yesterday, just how much, I guess, more is it like more difficult to swallow, just knowing that you're kind of going back to what Joe was saying a minute ago, just knowing you kind of have the next 2 weeks to think about this with the bye week factor?
Yeah, that's not something I've experienced yet. This is my first time ever experiencing a loss going into a bye week. And it's not a good feeling. It's not something that we want to dwell on, though. It's something that we want to learn from and move past. You don't find out who you are in the good times. You find out who you are in the rough times. So going into this week, I'm going to go watch all the games I played, all the games that as a defense we played, and really just find something that I can get better at, something I can improve at. Not dwell in the past, not sulk, but I'm going to get better. So I think that's the mentality of our entire team. Like at the end of the day, we got to get better. We got to just these last 3 weeks, we got to just have a little bit of fun and play well.
That is how you plan to spend the bye week, though, doing a lot of film work and whatnot? Kind of the whole looking in the mirror mentality?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna be grinding this bye week. Obviously, I'm gonna make sure to spend time with my wife and kids, and then hopefully I get to see some relatives. But for the most part, I'm going to be making sure that I'm going to be the best version of myself in these upcoming weeks.
And there's the last one following up on that. You mentioned just having fun. I mean, is that an element that you kind of feel like you guys need some more of, like just kind of a looser mentality, just the kind of season you guys have had? I mean, do you feel like guys are playing tight, if you will, in certain moments, or like is there just kind of an element of fun needed?
Yeah, no, I think like if you watch the film, like there's like I'm having a ball out there. Like when I see Gonzo making a play, when I see 2-5 making a play, when I see Barmore came back and he had a good stuff run TFL. Um, I'm having a ball out there, and I think our entire defense were being joyful while we're playing. Um, it just comes down to I wouldn't say that we aren't doing that. I would say it's if anything, it's just um, keeping that contained. We got to do our job and be joyful while doing it. Sometimes I might have to take on 2 linemen. There's a few times I had to do that last game, and that's my job that now. I'm going to be happy doing that. I'm going to be happy doing that because I know BMO, I know Jelani, I know all the other guys are going to be making a TFL. They're going to be in the backfield. They're going to be doing good things. So just being joyful, not only when we make a play, but then when our teammates make a play and when we have an opportunity to allow them to make a play.
All right, we'll let that flag get out of your face, man. Appreciate you taking the
I
time.
know you keeps hitting me. All right, appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
man.
Christian.